me, it was music all the time. And so I sort of had to change my study habits then because it was a different type of curriculum. Um, and so it was more about like hands-on, like practicing and analyzing music and that kind of thing. So
Sweet.
For me, in high school, I was kind of like a workaholic. But then when I got to college, I became a smarter one. In terms of, like Anna said, like the work based off the classes that I was taking, like changed. Because I took, I mean, I'm taking a lot of STEM classes now, but freshman year I took a lot of like humanities courses, and that has a lot of reading. And in high school, I would read every single word and like try to, take notes on every single thing. But in college, you don't have time for that because the amount of work has increased a lot. So you have to kind of prioritize and be smart about studying and what you're reading, and not reading everything, but like reading smartly, like, or more smart. I'll make sense once you like get there. And then also take advantage of study spaces. Like I love libraries. Like I would, after class, like force myself to go to the library for like 4 like hours and like try to get as much work done for one class. And then if I get tired of that space, go to another space. Just try to like create space, like safe spaces for yourself that aren't your room, to be able to study. Because that was something different from high school, because you're on this campus in normal pre-COVID conditions, and you have all these wonderful, beautiful places to go study. And normally in high school, I would just be in my room or like East Roswell or something. So.
Sweet. Miss Crystal?
Yeah, Mia said it again perfectly.
I need to let you go before her sometime, right?
No. She just was totally right. I feel like there's never going to be a time in college where you have the exam and then it's the night before and you're like, I studied enough. That was it. Right? Like studying in college is a full-time job. Nobody's forcing you to be there, right? So you really got to grind it out. And the other thing is, if you go to a research university, your professors probably didn't want to teach your class, and it's going to show. Like they wanted to conduct a research lab, they wanted this much grant money, and they said, great, you're going to teach intro chem or intro physics, and they're not happy about it, and it's really, really going to show. So nobody really knows what's going on, right? Like you can't get homework help from anybody else because nobody really understands the material that well. So you just have to find a support group, like a study group, that can help you best understand the material. And work smarter, not harder. Don't take shortcuts, but do not make your life any harder than it needs to be.
Sweet. All right, so here are the student questions coming up. And on this one, just whoever wants to answer can jump in, whether it's Anna or Mia or Crystal. It doesn't have to be in order. We'll go the first question. What is the most important thing in choosing a college?
that is a really tough question. I definitely struggled. Overall, I'm a very indecisive person, right? And so college was kind of the ultimate test of being able to be decisive and make this decision. But so I think I applied to 6 schools, eventually narrowed it down to 2, being, let me think about this, Mercer University in Macon, Georgia, and CU Boulder. And I thought long and hard about it, and obviously they were both wonderful schools, but a big factor for me in deciding eventually that I wanted to go to Boulder was that I wanted something different. I just wanted a change, and I thought that Boulder was going to be able to provide that for me. I clicked with the professors that I met initially when I came out here for a tour. I I loved the campus. It's beautiful out here. And yeah, I just wanted something that was kind of the polar opposite of what I had experienced growing up. But also, like, if you are comfortable with where you are and like you love it, then go for that. You need to do what you feel is best for you, and where you need to go where you think that you're going to be the best version of yourself and the healthiest person mentally and physically as far as that goes. So you, at the end of the day, the decision is yours, regardless of the pressures that you might be receiving from your friends that are all going to UGA, or like your parents who went to this school and they really want you to go there. But you need to make the decision for yourself at the end of the day, even though that might be very difficult.
Sweet.
I thought that diversity was definitely the most important thing to me. You absolutely don't want to be the only representative of any group on your college campus. You cannot do that for 4 years. You will be burnt out. You will be looked, it will feel different when you speak to professors, faculty members, other students. You can't do that. You just have to find a campus where you are represented.
For me, it was like Anna, like choosing to go far away. I don't know, I kind of just like a fresh start and like have a really new experience. And so that was like the biggest thing for me choosing to go to Brown. Most of my colleges on my list, I think, yeah, like UGA and Georgia Tech were the only ones in state, but they also didn't have the programs that I was interested in. The thing about Brown is that we have an open curriculum, so you don't have any core requirements until you get to your concentration like requirements. And so you can just take like any classes you want. And that was like a big thing for me because I was really unsure about like archaeology and environmental science. I didn't really know how to combine the two, but this is like the perfect place for me to be able to do that. And trying to think of anything else important. Oh, for the last question, I just like remembered, go to office hours. Like if your professors seem like they're nice, but even if they aren't, like go to your TA's office hours, which means like teaching assistant, because like they will help you. They want to talk to you. I mean, hopefully like your professors aren't there just because they need research money, but like they like love like talking about what they're doing. They love talking about themselves. Like that's another thing. If you just ever want to get on a professor's side, like, and like try to figure out like a research position or something like that, just ask them what they're working on and they'll just talk for hours because they love talking about themselves.
I guess if you're okay with having to be there for 2 more hours, I guess. But if you got somewhere to be, I guess don't ask that question. All right, okay, so next question. Is there anything that you did in high school, like a class, maybe at Centennial, or a resource that really prepared you for college? Like, can you think about, oh, wow, when I did that, I didn't know it at the time, but now I realize that helped me a lot. And there doesn't have to necessarily be an answer. So if you don't have an answer, that's fine. I see Crystal over there. What's up?
I would say more than anything like within Centennial physically, our school offers dual enrollment, and that was definitely the best preparation for me. Your college isn't going to look anything like high school, but it might look a little bit more like community college. You're never going to know anybody in your classes, at least not your first year. You're not going to have been going to school with them for 12 years, right? And it's not always going to be the same people. So I think community college especially will help you get a better understanding of the diversity that you'll get on most college campuses, how your professors will feel, right? I love that the faculty at Centennial was always like so intent on making sure you got this assignment done and that you're gonna be on track to graduate. Centennial's so good about that, but community college is not, and regular college is not. So I think that was definitely the best resource for me.
Sweet.
For me, definitely like taking, college courses are harder than AP courses, but that definitely like helped a lot. I still like Mr. Coon's AP Bio. I took that like senior year of high school, like still like, using a lot of things that I learned in like a lot of my classes now. And this like might be a weird answer, but like cross country, I felt like really prepared me for college, just having a stress outlet, like just finding like your stress outlet in high school, like with your favorite sport or hobby, and continuing that with like to college. I felt like was the best resource that helped me prepare for college, because it's like when times are tough, you can always fall back on running or fall back on singing and stuff like that.
Sweet. One person asked, how can they have a traditional college experience, especially with kind of the whole COVID, and like how can they try and have that? That's what the person asked.
I think as far as trying to, oh, sorry, Crystal, go ahead. Okay. Okay, sorry, being online is super weird, but I think as far as trying to get that traditional college experience, like Mia and Crystal, and I think Sophia even said, you sort of just have to put yourself out there and do the research on which colleges are, if you're looking for an in-person experience, do the research. Or if you're looking to stay at home for a semester, then that is also an option. But I mean, yeah, you definitely just have to put yourself out there and sort of find the resources and find the things that you're interested in. And yeah, just a big thing for me is just leaning on my support systems. And I mean, especially the support system that Centennial gave me. I still talk to Miss Bernie and Miss Howard, like we still text, because they are the people that frankly got me through high school and kept me going. So just sort of continuing that, especially in these times, like I think any teacher or faculty member at Centennial would like be there for you in this time, especially trying to figure out what a college experience is supposed to be like. If that means taking a gap year, take a gap year. Like I said earlier, you've just got to do what is best for you without and try to put other people's judgments aside.
Appreciate it. Miss Crystal?
Yeah, Anna made some very good points. And yeah, I talk to Miss Ekpo from the counseling office all the time. That's why I'm here today. She's always been very, very supportive of me. So special shout out to her. And as for making friends like on campus, yeah, go Miss Ekpo. As for making friends like at your college without being on campus, there's probably somebody like in your relative area that is going to the same school as you. One of my lives in Marietta, so we meet up from time to time. We're taking some online classes together, so we study together. We do our like problem sets together. So you can still maybe like be with people physically, but it's, do all the safe things, wear your mask, don't go to like big events, and try reaching out to people like in your area.
Sweet. So question, balance. How do you find balance in college? How do you figure out being successful academically, but also like socially, like having a life and like having like relationships, like, and like being happy? So how do you do both of those things at the same time in college?
For me, I'm still also trying to figure that out. It's like it's not like a one and done kind of thing. Just because I like was a like workaholic in high school, and like going into Brown, I like felt like I had to like keep that energy up to, keep up with everybody else. But I realized that at the end of the day, as grades are important now, but like like grades are not like do not like define you at all. Like experiences, like research opportunities, things that are not necessarily graded, and like being a part of clubs, like like you're going to college, like you will most definitely like be able to find a job that you like. And that was like kind of a pressure that I am still trying to like take off myself, that it's like grades and the type of evaluations that happen in high school, like it doesn't like matter. Like, and that helped facilitate the balance of like, okay, like I'll go, hang out with my friends or go to this concert instead of like studying an extra day because I already know the material, I'm confident. And even if I don't do as well as I maybe could have, but like it would be too much on my mental health to not like, and it's like I don't know, it's like judgment calls, but like I'm still figuring out, but like it at the end of the day, you just have to realize that you matter, not grades.
So what I would say is most of your classes are going to have like 3 exams. That's kind of a standard thing, I think. And what you really don't want to do is mess up the first exam, right? So that'll usually happen, right? Like if you're in your fall semester, maybe like late in September or early in October, right? So until then, I would be a little bit heavier on the academic side because it's really, really hard to pull yourself up if that first exam, that first 30% of your grade is not good. So I think that's a good rule to follow your first semester of college. And then I think it's a little bit easier to find that balance.
Now, Crystal, go back. I understand what you're saying, especially because I've been to college. Talk about the difference in grading and be more specific about that.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So your grades are going to be mostly just exams, right? Like I think a very standard formula is 90% of your grade will be like 3 or maybe 4 exams, usually 3 though. So exam 1 will be 30% of your grade, exam 2 will be 30% of your grade, exam 3 will be 30% of your grade, and you may have like 10% of homework or quizzes or something, class participation. Yeah, a paper. So if you get that first exam in September, October, and you get a 60, 30% of your grade is a 60. It's very, very hard to pull yourself up from that. But when your first exam is a 90, it's you definitely will not be feeling the stress, right? College is full of people who are not making the best decisions, so everybody else will be like rushing, like trying to pull it up. You really, if you get that first exam, if you get a bad score on that first exam, you will be working for the rest of the semester to pull that up. So definitely, until then, just be a little bit heavier with the academics for a few weeks.
So I guess that being said, kind of how you described difference in grading from high school to college, there really is an emphasis on, I need to actually know this information. They're not like having me regurgitate it with a whole bunch of worksheets and or something like that. They want me to recall this month's worth of material, and I actually have to learn this stuff, as opposed to maybe memorizing it might not take me as far.
The large difference between your AP classes and your college classes is that most of your grades in AP classes will be busy work, right? Something where you don't really have to show that you've comprehensively understood the material. But I mean, there's still a lot to gain from AP classes. They're definitely like closer to the rigor of college courses. I'm not trying to bash them, but you should know that there is a large difference between the two in terms of grading.
All right, ladies, do you see the chat?
Yeah.
There's 2 questions. You can just rock one of those, either one.
I can answer what it is like being a minority at a PWI. So yeah, it's during this time and just in general, it is a bit difficult, I have to say, is putting it like plainly. Yeah, I think the percentage of Black people at Brown or African Americans is like 6%, which is very, very, very low. And I think at Centennial, I think it was like, like 19 or something. So it was like a big like difference. And especially with like the political climate, I have found that it's been a bit difficult to do work and things like that. But Brown is like a pretty decent place, at least my professors, because a lot of my professors, the classes that I'm in, they're like very progressive type environmental science or like archaeology, like they will understand. And if I ever felt really stressed out, like I'll just email them and be like, can I have an extra day on this? They're like, yeah, whatever, have an extra week, like what, it's fine. Like they're really accommodating to this time period. And just in general, I guess reach out to try to find like the minority spaces at your school. At Brown, we have like the Students of Color building that was established really close to like the main green, and sometimes I go to their study, and I did a pre-orientation program for people of color, and that was a good way for Brown to support like low-income people of color students. But besides that, no, they're really not. It's to put plainly, a lot of the stuff that they do is lip service, but the students that are there that are minorities like realize that and find community within each other, even though like Brown doesn't really help with that, as bad as that sounds. But hopefully with everything going on in the future, it will be better, but can't, put too much hope on that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing about what you're saying is you're not going to find support in places where people don't understand the problem and the issues. So when you're talking about kind of the big picture, like you might find the most support with individuals, with these specific groups, like you said, because they are a little bit more aware than maybe kind of the big picture. Although, I mean, you could, but I agree with you. If you're gonna get the most support, it's gonna come from the people that you have sought out, because you need that support around you.
Yeah.
It's not gonna just fall into your lap,
I would definitely say just like if you do choose to go to a PWI, like make sure you are, and you are a person of color, like just make sure you are aware like of like what you're going to get, like research, kind of experiences other people have had in the past at that school. I mean, you're still going to encounter problems everywhere you go, sadly, but just like I wish I somewhat looked into that more before I applied to Brown. I still love like the school, but it definitely has like problems with that. Like, and that like kind of fueled my imposter syndrome at the beginning.
Crystal, we'll go to that second question that was directed towards you.
Yes, I did want to speak on the first question just for a second. Yes, if you go to a PWI, like I said, you'll be competing with Legacy. It'll always feel like you are not getting the same resources. Right, the second you come in, you'll feel like you are already behind. So please feel free to reach out to me. And I don't want to speak for Mia, but if she's interested at all, like talk to us. We can tell you what you need to do now to get ahead, how to find research in high school. I didn't know that was a thing at all. And then I came in and, all my friends whose parents are professors are like, I've been doing research since the 8th grade. I'm like, okay, great, good for you. And studying abroad in high school, I did that as well. The students have to leave.
Yeah, well, the students, if they're at home, obviously, if they're sitting at home, they don't have to leave. If
I
they're
just
in the
say
building,
hi
they
to
have to leave.
everybody because our bell rang.
So sorry. Yes.
Fine. If Mr. Giles wants to keep going, I just wanted to say hi. And the students that were here had to leave, so I just wanted to let you all know that. But thank you for your time and being here, and we are so proud of you guys. So thank you.
You guys were awesome. Yeah. There's a couple people still in here, so you could just finish your thought, and because whoever's at home, they might have a question, but then we can move on. But you guys are awesome.
I dropped my email in the chat. If you want to find ways to get ahead in high school, please reach out to me. Shring, especially you, for neuroscience. Let me know what you want to do. And the programs that I'm doing now. So the amazing thing about neuroscience is that you can do anything with it: psychology, neurophysics, basic cognitive science, or even just the anatomy, microbiology of that. It's great. You could do anything with a neuroscience degree. So I work with a lot of patients with Alzheimer's. I do Alzheimer's research. I work with a lot of patients with ataxia. I work with the Lenox Hill Hospital in New York and their Department of Neurosurgery. But the thing that, if you guys are interested in applying to med school or grad school, like for sciences, is medicine really doesn't matter if the other things in your life are not in order, right? So like if you don't have basic nutrition or exercise, it really doesn't matter what advanced neurosurgery we can do. It's not that important in the grand scheme of things. So I do a lot of social work. I write a lot of food stamps applications for people. I help them get insurance. I do a lot more social work than I do science work. And I think a lot of med schools and grad schools in particular like to see that these days. So I think it's definitely something to keep in mind if you are intending to apply to any of those schools.
Sweet. Students that are still here, any questions from you guys? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, ladies, again, you guys did awesome. Super appreciate you guys. You guys are going to make a big impact on the world. You're going in a great direction. And thank you for spending time out of your day to come and talk with your former peers and whatnot. So I appreciate you guys. All right.
Hey, I think we have a question in the chat. Hannah?
Okay.
Yeah?
I don't see it.
Okay, sorry. Before they leave, can they drop their contact information, whatever they're comfortable with, social media, I don't really mind, in the chat?
They did.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's right there. The emails are right there. Do you see it, Hannah?
No, I did not see the chat, but I'll let somebody take a picture for me.
All right.
Centennial has a problem with emailing outside, external email addresses. So I also dropped my Instagram in the chat. So feel free to contact me either way.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Girls, that was awesome. Awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all so much.
Stay safe,
All
Anna.
right,
Have a good
everybody
evening.
stay safe.
Bye, Crystal.
Bye.
Bye, Shring.